Oh, great spirit, us into fire and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great spirit, earth, wind, fire, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
Thank you so much, Akiko, for this wonderful song. And it helped me bring me back here in our hearts and the connection with all the elements. And thank you all for taking the time to gather here, friends, family, and colleagues. And Bastian and I would also like to thank Gina already for moderating together with us. We'd like you to take good care of yourself during this session and have your water close by. And cake. I know that Akiko has some wonderful cheesecake that she would love to share with us. You can show it. So, well, now on to where we are gathered here. We're gathered for the global launch of the World Water Community platform. It's a shared and neutral and secure space for all water stewards who are doing the great work to heal our waters. The idea for the World Water Community came to life during the wonderful water conferences in Bulgaria, where we came together in yearly with a diverse set of scientists, entrepreneurs, and therapists to discuss the amazing science of water. It was always fun, informative, and inspiring, and we really made true friends there. Jerry, who's also here and who is the organizer of those conferences and who shows us every time that it's absolutely possible to create a worldwide community that feels connected for life. So thank you so much for that, Jerry. Bastian and I have the intention to give this feeling and opportunity to more people who are passionate about water, albeit through an online platform. And I would like to just start with sharing two ways in which water has shown me that it is time to collaborate and share resources and implement what actually works, just start implementing. It was when we were studying the vitalized and informed water that the need for cross-disciplinary and cross-organizational collaboration became very clear, because with every new hypothesis, new expertise was required, requesting time to learn and money for equipment. And so here it is as if water herself was asking us to share our resources and knowledge. And during our studies, we also constantly found that water is in communication with the environment, and experiments are potentially influenced by us, by the moon and planets, and what's in the water, what's touching it, and simply by the temperature, pressure, and humidity, and who knows what else. So this was showing that the study of water requires a truly holistic approach, a whole new way of doing science. And through the simple fact that it is practically impossible to isolate water, water herself is giving us the real clue, I guess. Because since we are water, and water is connected to everything, when we change our relationship with water, we can heal ourselves and the world, and we can start doing that now. So for these actions, the platform was created. We are united by water, and therefore let's also unite for our water to start healing. And we will start with a short video on introducing the purpose, vision, and mission of the World Water Community. And Bastian will start it now.
We are the World Water Community, doing the great work to heal our waters. Our purpose is to facilitate the global to local healing of our planetary and internal waters. Our vision is an engaged community of individuals, groups, organizations, businesses, and institutions. We are passionate about collaborating and sharing knowledge, experience, solutions, and resources for a world with healthy and thriving water and healthy and thriving people. A community connected across boundaries, disciplines, and organizations, organized by watersheds, topics, and projects. Feeling connected, valued, and supported. Our mission is to provide a diverse ecosystem of tools and spaces for us to bring this vision into action, flow, and reality. By providing a collaboration platform, translated to all languages, to self-organize locally and globally.
I would like to say we look forward to creating these coherent domains of people, just as you said in this saw in this last video, similar to how water is connected. And in the next video, we will briefly go through the functionalities that the platform offers.
Yeah. Inside our World Water Community, we can connect with each other on our own secure, private, social platform.
We can create our own groups and join forum discussions.
We can search for other members based on their profile.
We can write posts and spread them via our media channels.
We can find and add listings of water organizations, sacred sites, public taps, labs, and more.
In our events calendar and booking system, we can join and add our events.
In our shared, member-curated resource library, we can find and add water-related information.
In our learning management system, we can follow and add courses in any category, such as health, consciousness, science, and agriculture.
In our marketplace, we can find and add products, equipment, services, and solutions to sell, rent, or loan.
In our crowdfunding platform, we can support and add campaigns for solutions, research, and community projects.
And our shared tools assist us with social media, content creation, event planning, video conferencing, marketing campaigns, safe data storage, and more.
In our secure project management system, we can collaborate in private group workspaces.
And we can chat with each other with real-time translation for optimal international collaboration.
And you're invited to join Oceans X. Oceans X facilitates a new way of working together, a way that provides opportunities for human potential. In explorations, Oceans X creates movement around collective challenges. In doing so, Oceans X ensures accelerated innovation and sustainable solutions.
You are also invited to join the Global Alliance for a World Water Law. The World Water Law is a global citizen-led initiative dedicated to supporting the rapid and radical healing of the planetary waters and water cycle. We in the World Water Community believe that we can achieve maximum global impact and change through uniting our visions, skills, incentives, resources, projects, and leadership in one real-time global community collaboration platform. So it's safe to play full out. We embrace your vision, your skills, your incentives, your resources, your plans, and your leadership.
Imagine what we can do together if we connect in one place.
It's looking amazing, guys. Wow.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Imagine different water action groups united on one collaboration platform, helping each other, sharing tips, and bridging cultural differences. Action groups being able to find supporters and engaged people in other local communities. Imagine farmers across the world united on our global platform to transition to regenerative farming and restoring the water cycle. Improving the quality of our food and reducing water use by using vital water devices, perhaps funded by our crowdfunding campaigns. Imagine farmers being supported by experienced ecologists, scientists, and solutionists from our community. And farms visible as blue dots in their watershed on our maps. Imagine water analysts across the world uniting on our platform to learn from each other, develop best practices, and share resources. Creating one online World Water Lab, providing easy access to water quality measurements for our community. Imagine water workers in water utilities uniting on our platform to support each other in the transition towards more holistic water management. Sharing what works, finding like-minded people, solutionists, and scientists to support them, and making connections with their local community. Imagine scientists coming together on the community platform to discuss the science of water and to develop an all-encompassing understanding for the amazing properties of water, bringing together their observations and expertise and building a wiki for a new view on water. Imagine our community as the global hub for all water-related questions, collecting the best resources for learning about improving your water, restoring your soil, healing and hydrating yourself. Imagine one water school or university curated by our members. Imagine inventors being able to bring their new technologies to market via community connections, experts, funding and support. Imagine that you can easily locate the closest public tap with vital water, the closest sacred water site, water lab, water organization or water project that you can join, or local water guardian to connect with. Imagine that water guardians, wisdom keepers and storytellers are connecting for their great work and are present in our community to infuse our discussions and projects with their wisdom, knowledge and visions. Imagine that you are more efficient, focused and cost-effective through the use of our tools and that you feel supported on your personal water journey. Imagine yourself working in a new flexible way and supporting yourself by contributing to water projects you feel drawn to, being able to follow the flow of your life, work in your own time and develop yourself, all in one transparent community platform.
So we really look forward to also share and support your dreams. And we've now laid the basis for this platform. It's up to us to help these visions become a reality. And there's lots to do, and we're very eager to collaborate with you all. So please join with your expertise and passion and ideas. Let's really unite for water now. And now on to the fun part where we get to hear from our community members, which are all amazing water stewards already doing the great work. They're all so inspiring, and it's the thought of them that kept Bastian and myself going when we were behind our computers solving another bug. So the first is of course the man who ignited this dream. Jerry, you are the father of this World Water Community platform. You don't like grandfather, you don't like maybe not father, so you can also be the mother. But you are the igniter of the World Water Community platform. And therefore we start with you. Thank you for being a dear friend. And we've had wonderful times together. And you are also, thanks for inspiring us with your wonderful and fun books. And of course, for paving the way for a new view on water. You show that it is possible to be brilliant, human, and humble at the same time. I will introduce you as the water professor, engaging author and public speaker, and the voice for a new water science. So yeah, please tell us what you feel is the essence of your great work and how you see the World Water Community platform helping us.
Thank you, Everin. Your comments are so kind, and what can I say? Your platform is amazing, and it's so desperately needed to put our community together. And it's been honestly a great pleasure to organize the water conferences, which, by the way, will take place again. I think this is number 15. I hope I have the numbers correct, in Bad Soden in October. We keep our fingers crossed that everything will be conducive to holding the meeting, and so far it looks promising, keeping us all together. I guess I think the one of the most important themes that has come, and I think it's a theme that is the backbone, you might say, of the new water sciences, is a recognition that water has structure to it. This idea is an idea that is not accepted by the usual water community. In fact, I've invited members of that community to come and present their work at the water conference, and they don't want to come. They don't want to come because I think they would be seen by their colleagues as defecting from tradition in some way. Yet, it's been clear, there's so much evidence now that the water is more interesting, more complex, richer than we had thought. And this all starts even before Albert St. Georgi. You know, most of his work came 50, 60 years ago. And as you know, St. Georgi was the father of modern biochemistry. He won a Nobel Prize for discovering vitamin C, and he was rich with ideas. And one of his ideas was that the water, there is structure to the water, and it's really important to take this structure into account. It's not simply liquid water molecules bouncing around at a huge number of times per even femtosecond, but there's order to it. And he identified that order very clearly, especially in biology. And one of his famous quotes is, "Life is water dancing to the tune of solids." That quote comes up again and again. I think it's so true. And then, as we're standing on the shoulders of giants, the other is the late Gilbert Ling, who passed recently at age just shy of 100. And he spent most of his career gathering evidence that biological water in the cell is organized, is structured. It's not liquid water. And a few people have brought up a simple concept to demonstrate that it's not liquid water. And that is, if you cut yourself, you cut, and if it's liquid water, you'd expect the water to come. Sorry? You'd expect the water to come pouring out, but it doesn't. So it's a different kind of water, and I think it's now clearly established that it is different. That water, many people describe it in many different ways, coherent domains, structured water, ordered water, fourth phase water, easy water. But I think it's all, no matter how you describe it, it's all the same. And how critical it is for all of biology. We need to understand the properties of this kind of water. And your platform, Everin and Bastian, is a perfect way to bring together people with different views and share those views and collaborate. And I think this is the future, especially, this is throughout nature, but especially in biology, where your cells are filled with this this kind of water, and this water is central to practically everything that the cell does. And you know, it's really not so easy to understand how we function if you don't understand the role of water. It's kind of, do I hear someone's voice? It's analogous. Maybe you're suggesting that I should shut up. I've got just a couple of minutes, one more minute left. I think, you know, it's kind of analogous to a mechanic fixing your car. If the mechanic has no idea what the engine does, or the brakes, or the accelerator, it's kind of difficult for them to figure out how to repair what's going on. And it's the same thing with biology. If you fail to understand that the cell is filled not with liquid water, but with some kind of structure, organized, easy, whatever you want to call it, coherent domain water, you'll never get it right. You'll never really, truly understand how the cell functions. And I think this is really critical. And that's the advantage, not only of the water conference, of bringing people together, but of this new platform where ideas can be shared. So I think I'll shut up here. I've said enough, and look forward to listening to some others. Thank you.
Great. Everine and Bastian, we thank you for this platform. Jerry, the water conference, and you're convening it, and the fact that the 15th annual year with all the archives of all the talks and thinking exists and is still going forward. And then the link, the direct link of this effort, the purpose we're here today to launch the worldwide community platform, which now allows us to take the conference and reach out into the entire world and see its work, find new places for application and for practice and for meaning. This has spent so long in the making, and it's really exciting. We're here today. There's a full moon. Everything is aligned, crystalline perfect for us to come together, to be, if I can put it this way, to be organized by water. Amazing that we can allow ourselves to be organized and come together in this way and create a technology that allows us to begin. And I agree with you, Everine. I think water is calling us to collaborate. It isn't interesting for us to be in our labs anymore doing our solitary work or hoping we'll get published in a journal. It isn't interesting to struggle with a project on your own. It's far more potent and powerful to have a community around us who are like, I know so-and-so, and I agree with this, and I can see where we could put this. And so part of the mission here, I think today, and the purpose is to call us together and remind each other to be for each other, to be assisting each other. Think of somebody you know that you can introduce a young student to, or a young new published paper. Let's spread each other's work. Let's spread each other's projects. Boy, can we have a big impact if we let water organize us. So Jerry, thank you for opening all of this for us. And we really want to carry the ball forward now.
Thank you. Thank you, Gina. Now we'd like to go to Jan and Shelley. Wow. We just met at the beginning of this year, and since then it's been an amazing journey. It feels like your lives have been a preparation for this great work that you're doing now. And you call it a radical system transformation and rapid social and ecological regeneration for a healthy Earth. And wow, with the World Water Law, you have set the purest intention and the clearest solution for worldwide ecological healing. And I'm so grateful that we can host the Global Alliance for the World Water Law on our platform. And also very happy for all your suggestions while Bastian and I were focusing on the back end of the platform. So we look very much forward to creating more impact together with all what is yet to come. You're really amazing people, and please go ahead with describing what the essence is of what you do. Thank you so much.
Wow. First of all, thank you so much. It's so exciting to see what you've put together. You know, just watching this progress over the last months and how much you've really pulled together and how it's come at this incredible time to serve humanity in allowing water to organize us. And, you know, this convergence of coming forward with the World Water Law at this time as this unifying foundation for rapid and radical healing of our planetary waters in an unprecedented way, in a way that brings all citizens together to unite, to take leadership, to say no more violation of water, no more compromise. We are coming together at this time to figure out how to make it happen. And here's a platform that can help us make this World Water Law a global reality. So for those who don't know about the World Water Law, this is a vision in process. It arrived at the beginning of last year. We were able to offer it to the world exactly a year ago in the context of WorldUnityWeek as a proposal for a World Water Law, which initiates a whole system healing response by saying humanity does not depend on our current legal systems. We can't work with them anymore. We know what's right. When we go back to our intuition, we realize that these 4 principles are what we need in order to begin to align human law with the original laws of nature and take up our roles as healthy stewards for a healthy Earth. So before I say any more, I'll just ask Jan to play the video. And
we are water.
We, citizens of Earth, call for and commit to working together for the immediate and universal protection of all water.
It's the first vital step towards global cooperation for effective, worldwide social and ecological healing.
The World Water Law requires the uncompromising protection and restoration of all natural water sources, watersheds, aquifers, lakes, wetlands, estuaries, and oceans.
The rewilding of ecosystems necessary for the restoration of the planetary water cycle.
The guaranteed free access of all humans and animals to the natural uncontaminated water.
The World Water Law holds all governments, corporations, communities, and individuals fully accountable for their impact on all waters everywhere.
This one law serves as a unifying foundation for all governments and citizens to work together with community-led wisdom and stewardship councils in ways that effectively serve the health and vitality of the whole.
The World Water Law provides an essential foundation for aligning human laws with the original laws of nature.
This global initiative honors the many water guardians around the world
who have dedicated their lives to the protection and reverence of water on behalf of all life.
Join the Global Alliance for a World Water Law.
And add your voice to make the World Water Law a global reality.
Together, we rise for water.
Together, we rise for all of life.
rise together with the tide. Water's law now must preside. We are water.
We certainly look forward to all the ways we can support you in this amazing endeavor. And we're right behind you guys in whatever way we can be there, all together as a community. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Now on to the next. Dolf and Eric, you guys, we've gone a long way together and we've done a lot. So it was at the time of firelight research that we were studying ultra-weak photon emission from plants and humans that we realized that water is at the bottom of it all. And our lab grew and we even had our own greenhouse for us to perform the research in. And we tried to study all the questions that we raised. 5 years of continuous exploring of frequencies, light and water, health and relationship to what's happening with nature cycles and the planets and so much more. It was a dream come true, and the lab was unfortunately too much to keep up, but we and you have kept going. And I'm so glad you're here, and I look forward to continuing your support and to support your great work in any way I can. And yeah, please share with the rest what you've been doing and creating. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Everine. First of all, Everine and Bastiaan, this is fantastic what you just showed us. I'm really impressed. That is something we will always remember, and it was all over these years that you worked together with us. It was really a pleasure to work together, and we continue working on it. When we talk about water, in our situation, we always tried to use as much as possible applications, not only the research, but we immediately wanted to show what is water doing in the world. And there is a huge, huge problem at the moment. Over the last few years, Eric and I traveled all over the world, and we heard in many places, for instance in India, that they expect in a few years that hundreds of millions and refugees will travel all over the world due to a lack of water. And not only that, there are other problems, environmental problems, and the latest technologies that we introduce as human mankind, for instance, certain electromagnetic waves that we create all over the world, is also damaging the world. What we see is that a lot of people, also in the scientific world, simply say, oh, it is just water. People haven't got a clue what water is. And I think that this platform really has to educate people worldwide, with all the scientists that you bring together, that water is not just water. It is much more than water. Without this water, and if we don't keep it in the right order, it will create a tremendous problem on this world. So this platform is on the right time. And I think that we definitely need a water law as soon as possible to protect ourselves, because I think we only have a few years to tell the people how important this is. And for that reason, I'm very pleased that you come up with this platform. Eric.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Everine and Bastiaan, for what you're doing. I fully agree everything, of course, on what Dolf said. I just have to add one thing to it, because I really think water is the most important thing we have on this planet. It's the communicator. Actually, we look at it, it is the quantum computer. And if we want to get consciousness back again on this planet, we need to restore the water, because I mean, water, like I said, is the quantum computer. It receives all the information coming out of the cosmos. And as long as the water will be destroyed, we will, well, personally, I think it will be very hard to get together, because the water actually unites us and it needs to be restored.
So, shall we show your video as well?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Every element in the known universe was created after the Big Bang, when the first stars were born and evolved. The first element that was formed was hydrogen, followed by helium, lithium, and eventually all the known elements we recognize today. After the element of oxygen was formed in the cores of the first generations of stars, water originated from the binding of hydrogen and oxygen. In one form or another, water is found in abundance in the universe. There is still an endless amount of energy in our own solar system, and far beyond. The sun brings more energy to our Earth in an hour than we can consume with all of humanity in a whole year. And water responds to this energy. Water is a broadband absorber of electromagnetic fields and is in constant communication with these fields. And this has amazing consequences. We are all surrounded by electromagnetic waves, such as those from the sun and the moon. When we zoom in on all the electromagnetic waves that surround us, we realize that there is so much more than just visible light. All this energy is sent to Earth. Until now, it was a mystery how all of this affects one of the most essential elements on Earth. Water is amazing. It does so much more than we humans think it does. It absorbs 70% of all this incoming energy, and thus literally keeps us and the whole Earth alive. And it does so on a molecular level. In order to carry these enormous amounts of energy, water uses constantly changing and balancing molecule structures. When water molecules resonate with a particular electromagnetic field in unison, it becomes part of this coherent field. We call this coherent water. We discovered that coherent fields are vital for biological systems, and when all the elements in a system are in coherence, this takes the least amount of energy. Coherent water provides this balance in biological systems, in plants, animals, and humans. Water wants to behave in coherent fields that optimize biological systems. That's why at Water and Light, we revitalize water, restoring it to its natural state and keep it in this condition. How do we do this? Driven by our passion for a cleaner and healthier planet, we have been carrying out intensive groundbreaking research to understand the relationship between light, energy, and water. We have the ability to restore the coherent domains in water in a natural way, and this has a direct effect on biological systems. At Water and Light, we've developed the technology to treat an unlimited amount of water that will remain stable in its coherent state even after a long period of time, and even build up a resistance to harmful influences over time. The applications for this groundbreaking technology are endless, but let's consider a few real-world examples. A recent study has shown that our technology did not only purify a ditch with polluted water, it also had a direct and significantly positive effect on the ecological environment. Plants irrigated with this purified water showed to have more energy, better resistance, and a richer soil live.
Dit is het gewicht van een controle. 1,45 kilogram. Dit is het gewicht van een steen gemaakt met ons water. 1,2 kilogram. De maten zijn exact hetzelfde, dus ze komen met dezelfde mal. Dit is 14,7, 14,7, 14,7, 14,7.
Another study revealed that coherent water has a direct and positive effect on the number of mitochondria. The number of mitochondria plays an important role in the overall aging process and the battle against chronic diseases. Our research shows an increase of energy found in plants and seeds after treatment with coherent water. And studying the brainwaves of subjects treated with coherent water, we found more harmony in the communication between the left and right hemisphere of the brain, in effect, leading to a sense of calmness. These are a few examples of the research that we've done in the last 12 years. To list all of it in this animation would be excessive, but most of our research is thoroughly documented. It is in our research that we've learned how to effectively clean and restore water to its natural state for healthy living. The result is Water and Light Vital Water. Water and Light Full Spectrum Coherent Water, a vital technology for restoring our blue planet.
Yes, Dolf and Eric, this is Gina, Bria from the Hydration Foundation. We're just wanted to congratulate you on this amazing work, to acknowledge this long, passionate, and committed dedication to understanding the role of water and light. And Eric, I think you encapsulated it perfectly when you said, what we need is the information in water. We need water information. And I think certainly what we're sharing here today and what people are hearing is this double meaning of the word of water information. Not only do we need the information in water, but we need to spread information about water. And it's great to have you here on the platform, and great to have this platform to spread water information, but also to be informed by the information in water that is so vital to our next stage of renewal for ourselves and our ecology. So thank you for your work. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everin, who do we have next?
Next, Shelley, who was muted when she wanted to still speak. So now we would like to unmute Shelley.
Yes, thank you. That was a brief introduction with the World Water Law video. And to say one or two more sentences, and then I'm going to pass it to Jan, who will share more about how we see it organized on the platform. The World Water Law is an invitation to all citizens to join together and figure out how we make this law a global reality. It's a creative, citizen-led movement that trusts that water is calling us now, that water has orchestrated this incredible convergence of all of the water lovers from around the world and is organizing through us the platforms to be able to do this. So it's an invitation to all of you to join the Global Alliance for a World Water Law and join the global community that's forming around it to see how we can all contribute our unique gifts to make this happen, from the sciences to the spiritual work to the political activism, agriculture, bringing the solutions together. And the World Water Community platform is such a fantastic space for being able to have these discussions and move forward on it. And Jan will give a few examples of how. So deep, deep gratitude to what you've put together. It's extraordinary.
Wow, greetings everyone. It's so good to be with this beautiful water family, so diverse, so dedicated. Yeah, I think it's interesting because we met, as Averin said, we met at the beginning of the year, and at that time we were actually in the process, we'd almost completed creating an online platform to organize for Codes for a Healthy Earth. And then realizing that the World Water Law was the first initiative, and then discovering Averin's platform, it was just so obvious that you know, we don't need two platforms, and let's really combine our energies and come together. So we parked that whole platform and really united with Averin and Bastiaan, and it's been just so amazing to work with them and feel their receptivity and their responsiveness to ideas. And you know, the vision for a world water law is quite a bold, radical vision. And as Shelley said, you know, it's something that we don't expect to pass through the normal systemic channels, the normal legal channels. It really does require citizen-led self-organization, self-mobilization at the global, regional, and local levels. And so, you know, what tool can we use to do that? And here we go, here we have it. The World Water Community is really such an amazing platform, and new tools are coming in all the time. And it's just such a blessing to be working together, and really looking forward to seeing how we can, you know, even as a small community, already start to bring people onto the platform and build a critical mass of users, so that we can actually start to really recognize it for what it is, and use it as the main space for organizing, for sharing resources. Teresa is also in this chat, and she's been working on helping the layout for a water resource toolkit that will be posted on as a first step to the resource library with amazing resources. And that video that you shared, Dolf and Eric, was amazing. We'd love to include that, and also really beautiful to hear your resonance with the World Water Law. It's such a simple idea, really, and at the same time, when you go into each of those 4 principles, it's just such common sense. And at the same time, it has the power, each of these principles have the power to completely transform everything about how we organize ourselves as a species, from education to agriculture to media. And so it's really beautiful to see how water is bringing us together and bringing us, there's been lots of talk about unity for many years now. We need to unite the movement. We need to create a movement of movements. Well, how do we do that? And now water is showing us, and water is also giving us the tools through which we can do that. Deep bow to you, Everine and Bastiaan. Thank you so much. Amazing.
Thank you, Jan. Shelley.
And thank you, Gina, for hosting.
Gina.
Yes, I just want to urge everyone who's here that don't ever speak publicly again or post anything without mentioning the World Water Community and the World Water Law, because as we organize around this, it's going to be very, very exciting who we can draw. So if we become the attractors and we begin to just always be mentioning the platform, mentioning the World Water Law, and mentioning these extraordinary 4 principles that you've put forward, which really are, I think, part of the organizing principles of water itself, but also it articulates for people things they haven't been able to put together for themselves. So once you see them, you immediately get, wow, the implications here are profound in many directions, for how I live and how I seek to affect my community and how I seek to protect water. So anybody here, anytime you have a chance to talk about water, and by the way, P.S., don't forget the World Water Law and how we can all support that, and come join us on the World Water Community. Shelley and Jan, thank you so much for this great work. And it's really been fun getting to know you. Oh my gosh, you guys are so joyous. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to work together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. The next was Isabel, but I don't find her anymore. She needed to leave for at 1. So I guess we're too late. I think she is the most inspiring, gentle and loving teacher of water wisdom and science and solutions. And she really does it amazing. She's a real water activist and completely absorbed in sharing her life's work. I followed a few of her courses and they're fantastic, with just such densely packed water education. And she's really a pure example of water stewardship, and I'm very happy to be in touch with her, and we will gladly help and spread her work. She will put her courses on the platform, and she has been one of the first to create her own group on the platform as well. And I'm very sorry that she had to leave already. I didn't realize that she was going.
Yes, and Everine, I'll mention that I just happened to be on a call with her yesterday with a whole group of people from the the Water Initiative Alliance, and she was the speaker. And believe me, all of us are steeped in water, right? We know the science, we read each other's papers, we're following each other's work. The way that she communicated about water was entirely new, and she literally just such an incredible young spirit to have among us. Any way to support her work is going to be powerful, because she knocked over everybody in that community. They were all scrambling to say, wait, what did you just say? How did you just say that? Like, could you write that down for me? So it was delightful. And her website, it's called, Everine, what's the name of her website?
Water is life.love. Yes, yes.
You'll find new phrases you can immediately put into action and
Yeah.
knock people
Yeah,
over.
her words are amazing, and her love she brings into it is amazing.
She's a great communicator. Yeah.
Yeah. So now on to you, Gina. Half a year ago, we connected again, and since then you've been flowing with ideas to bring water science to the public. And it's been really lovely to collaborate and scheme for water. We are on a mission, and I'm so happy you're always so lighthearted and funny, and it's also been great to connect deeper as well. I have really very much respect for what you're doing single-handedly for water. You're setting up the Hydration Foundation, the TEDx shows, and writing books, a water museum, water genius cards, and so much more. So you're really a woman on a calling for water, and always very good with words. So I'll let you to it.
Thank you. Do we want to show the little video first? This is just a treat for you guys that we organized that is part of a larger set of initiatives that the Hydration Foundation is involved in, a traveling water museum to feature Jerry's science and many of our colleagues' science through the arts. And this is just a snippet of how we go about that work. And if we show, it's a 3-minute video. If we show that video, then I'll come back and just tell you what the Hydration Foundation is itself and what initiatives we're taking. So go ahead and roll that film. Water is far more abundant than we thought. Water is hidden around us everywhere. Water isn't only blue, it's also green, found inside all living plants. It's brown too, occupying volume in soils, roots, fungi, mycelium. Water runs all living systems. It's everywhere. We think of water as liquid, vapor, or even ice, but the most abundant form of water is in a form we are only just identifying, the gel-like or plasma state found in all cells. And we ourselves are far more made of water than we thought. Let me show you. Let me take you inside yourself and show you the first living images we've ever had of water inside the body. This is a video from Dr. Jean-Claude Gimbarteau showing what our living tissues actually look like close up. See how much we are water, how water repairs and rejoins our tissues, water in both liquid and plasma form, transporting not only hydration, but energy. The fuel for living is actually water. Water energy runs all life. See how the web-like connective material, so gossamer, so beautiful, actually holds us together. It's a network of building material and fuel transport at the same moment. And it's doing a third task. This plasma-like, gel-like network is receiving and sending information, bioelectric, biochemical, making water actually digital, making hydration our interface between the world inside us and the world outside us. But water must be in motion to do its work. Water in this way ignites life and connects the whole, connects the inside to the outside. To share this new understanding, we are creating a traveling museum of water called A Movement in Water. It will be a space to experience water, to raise our reverence for water, to experience its majesty, and to break into new realms of knowing and moving in the world, seeing ourselves as the water-made beings we actually are. Find us at amovementinwater.com. Besides that amazing water museum we're trying to get funding for and moving out into the world, actually, our first iteration is coming up in July. We've been invited to present our hydration education and artistry, our work with artistry for the Movement in Water Museum at the Flint Water Festival. So we're really beginning to get out there in the world. And the second of sharing what a traveling water museum could be among all of us, we invite you to be part of it. As we go to each area we plan to visit, we want to be part of a local community there that we can collaborate with. So this is definitely a collegial project, and any ways you would like to be involved, we welcome that. Along with our other major initiative at the Hydration Foundation, which is to begin to find ways to irrigate our agriculture, our land and our soils with structured water, now that we have the data in to show how profoundly changed the responses in soils, soil microbes, plants, crops, and carbon storage, just switching phases of water when we irrigate. So again, that all based on Jerry's beautiful work, and we're very excited to advance that and forward that. The program we're using now is a donation program to get the public to actually buy simple vortex funnels for farmers, so that they can put these vortexed water, vitalized water, easy water, organized water. We have so many names for this water, but it all works. So we want to get that. We want to get the planet restored using structured water as well as our bodies. So as I would like to share too, is the Hydration Foundation exists as a response to Jerry's findings, or our goal is public education, spreading the science as widely as we can, and supporting any of our colleagues in water science. So if you think of a way that the Hydration Foundation can make your projects more prevalent, help you find people to work or to respond, that's why we're so engaged in the World Water Community platform, because we're here to be a resource along with all of us together. So that's the extent of our work right now, and we do it with joy because water is joyful. I think the very essence of water is playful and joyful. So to do this work with that lightheartedness, I think, is a powerful magnetizer for bringing people into our circles who want to help us and create more impact. So Evelyn and Sebastian, thank you so much for the work you're doing, and may we do it together.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina.
It makes it much more fun to do it together.
Yes.
And like you say, we just start and we will see how water flows. Let's go to our next member, which is Akiko. You are the example of being touched by water. It's no wonder that you can do Emoto's water crystal work, because you are a light and an example for many. It was very dear to me to get to know you better at the last water conference, and now you're a true friend, and you've created a foundation with such beautiful intention, and I really look forward to collaborating with you and learn from you how to live life. Please go ahead.
And thank you very much, dear Evelyn, for inviting me and just let me be part of this wonderful event. I hope in the video I could put all message inside. So let's see it.
Why the OmniAqua Foundation? Everything which is alive contains water. Water unites all of nature. Human beings, animals, trees, plants, insects, microorganisms, our ocean, soil, fire and air, They are all part of one nature, a connected, united ecosystem. Water is the most plentiful element in the entire cosmos. Use your eyes inside your heart and just visualize all life is connected through water. This invisible involvement of water among all existence tells us how important water is. If water suffers, everything will suffer sooner or later, and where constant suffering occurs without any chances for real recovery, there's no possibility for healing or for living in peace and in harmony. We see that despite tireless efforts and attempts, our world still does not know lasting global peace. Here is a missing link which we want to take care of. That is water. Water is the key. So recognize how important it is to take care of your water. I mean the water inside you, around you, and water everywhere. Start paying attention and being grateful to the water inside you at first. As a messenger from water, I tell you that all water everywhere, it wants to be loved, understood, cared for, and respected with dignity. Do we all have the deep holistic awareness that water absorbs and reacts to all information in our environment, even to our thoughts and our emotions? How and where can our children learn it? It is time to integrate this awareness into accepted science, because science can help us to better understand nature, ourselves, and all its wonderful, grateful phenomena. OmniAqua would like to share our knowledge and our 4 goals with you. 1. We teach children about holistic aspects of water. 2. We cooperate with scientists, researchers, and organizations for open-minded research on water. 3. We support the opportunity for the birth of great friendship, working towards the same goals beyond all differences, such as beliefs, cultures, habits, or nations. 4. We act with concrete solutions for making our micro and macrocosmos a more peaceful and healthier place to live and to live on.
Hi, I'm Jerry Pollack, and I am so pleased to be able to say a few words about OmniAqua, the OmniAqua Foundation. I'm really proud to be a so-called honorary board member. I joined because of my enthusiasm. I think it's really important to raise awareness of the kind of holistic approach that that's taken by the foundation. I think this is really the way to observe and to understand about water. And I really appreciate the importance of this kind of holistic approach, especially an approach that it includes children or even emphasizes children. It's obvious that the way to start this important understanding is at a young age. And I'm absolutely confident that this foundation will succeed greatly because of the really competent and enthusiastic leadership of its director, Akiko Stein. So I I wish the foundation and its leadership all the best in the future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Akiko, do you want to say something? You can, is it on mute?
Yes, thank you very much. And also here I would like to also thank you, dear Cherry, that just you said yes as I was working on the foundation's vision. So I really grateful and thankful for your support, and I hope, and also with you, Evelyn, I hope I can do something for this community. And yes, thank you.
Of course.
Yes. And I bake a cheesecake for you. You know, I promised you. Yes. Thank you.
And Akiko, we hope this community can do something for you, because to be teaching children is absolutely essential, and not all of us are in those arenas. So we're very grateful for your work with children, and we love that your approach is so not only holistic, but international. That always seems so important to what you're doing. Every time I see a photograph, you're surrounded by people from every culture, and that is so important. So thank you for your work.
Thank you very much, Gina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Evelyn, who do we have next?
So next we have Anna Bachia.
Hello,
Dear
everybody.
Anna, Paolo introduced us at the Science Symposium in Lugano, and since then I've been fascinated by your work on intuitive intelligence. In water science, we need a new way of looking and a broader sensing that our equipment cannot measure. And we need to go from logic to analogical thinking towards a different way of perceiving. And your presentation at last year's water conference was the coming together of our both worlds. And our common dream is to bring this new type of sensing into science and to start to become in this new sensing of intuiting and being. I really enjoy to learn this from you, and thank you so much for being here, and please share what you have to say.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Bastian, for your invitation to this event, and for your creation of this World Water Community, for its enlightening function and inspiration for all of our global consciousness. But I want to thank you, everybody of you, because of your amazing presentation, and I'm strongly touched for all that you have presented and offered today to me, to everybody. I'm not working directly, as Evelyn said, on water, but my dedication is for exploring, which is the nature of our comprehending, of our understanding, of our creating, which is the nature of our creative act, of our discovering. And in such direction, I propose to substitute my video now with the shortest introductive step of my research in such sense and educational project, which are based, first of all, on the feeling that probably today we don't need new ideas, new concepts to substitute to the previous, but probably we need a new experience, able to remold the world of our interrelations. And I'm dedicated, and I offer the core of the need of a radical evolutive shift from logical thinking to analogical vision and an unexplored intuitive insight and intelligence, which I've named ININ, which enables us to create answers, discoveries, solutions, which are coherent with emerging needs, researchers, questions. I bring generally while introducing which is inning, I speak of an intuitive antenna, which we are, which is able to get to grasp information from the field of information of which we are made, and the ocean of which information in which, let's say, we are immersed and of which are made. And we can grasp such information, and we become instruments which are enabled from the intuitive and unexplored, an unexplored intuitive insight. We become instrument able to receive information and give a form to it with new creation, with new answers, with new solutions. And that's why I bring the need of a radical evolutive shift from a logical thinking to an analogical intuitive insight inning. And I'm glad really to offer a course on these themes on the WorldWaterCommunity website, where we will be able to explore and deepen these themes. And as I've shared last week in my presentation at the United Nations, and even with Gerald Pollack in Frankfurt, the unexplored intuitive insight inning disclose a new analogical approach to research. I hope even to research on water, and in general to the exploration of our non-fragmented reality and emerging reality, an analogical an explorer approach where we experience intuitive clarity and certainty. Imagine something which we can name an intuitive certainty as the fundamental analogical knowledge, where knowledge is resonance, is coherence, is syntony. And you can really experiment such intuitive clarity and certainty as the fundamental analogical knowledge which engenders and enlightens the all subsequent rational investigation. This is the core of my research. And there's just a perspective from the breathing of life where there is more music in a waterfall than in a perfectly defined written score. And from here, there is a final question of mine to all of you, which says, what if life would be only what we think of it or how we define it? And water itself arrives, comes, and asks, and what would I be if I would be only what you define about me? That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you to you all.
Anna, I was very struck with your phrase that we need to be having a new experience of that which is already there. This is a great click for me. Yes, that's great, and that the opportunity there to explore, the idea of exploring. And of course, water is always seeking. That's its nature, and that's our nature too, connecting that. And then joining forces around together, speaking about how the human is an antenna and drawing information from the fields, all the fields around us. And of course, then that's translated through the water inside of us and around us. So I see the work is there's such a natural allyship with what you're doing. Thank you, Everine and Sebastian, for introducing her to the water community, and welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Well, we go now on to Matt.
Okay, shall I go straight in?
Yeah, no. I'd like to say that you are really the waterman yourself. You are a fighter pilot transformed to coach and water sommelier and podcast producer. You're really an inspiration on a real mission, another one, a different one, and you can handle it in all the stresses and all the inspirations to create a water conscious new generation with a new understanding of water and to empower this generation to become better stewards of the planet Earth. And many of us have the same idea when it's birthing to be created from the field, as you say, and it's just who takes the next step. And well, you've taken many steps and are creating so much for us all to follow and help. So we're really looking forward to supporting our common visions and endeavors. And well, on to you. You're a wonderful talker, so I'd love to hear you speak.
Dankjewel. I want to begin by giving my reverence to Akiko for such a beautiful beginning. And I'm always inspired by a great Polynesian elder called Kalani Souza. And a lot of us know him. He said, if it doesn't begin right, it doesn't end right. And that is a very beautiful beginning. And I have a very similar background into my water journey with Akiko. And so the nature of song and prayer and the intent that is launched this in such a beautiful way can only give us great potential going forward. So thank you very much to Akiko. It's very, very beautiful. I'm always humbled when I get asked to speak anywhere, especially when I am surrounded by a lot of my heroes here and people who I've been inspired by and which I take snippets from kind of thing, or they kind of process within myself. And I then create from there. And in fact, following the previous speaker very intuitively. So I have a bit of I would call myself more of a generalist, but this is a family. And what I realize about this family is that water is a journey that you go on to discover life. And somewhere upon that journey is a magic point. And at that magic point, there's no turning back. There's no way out. It's an infinite journey going forward. And that journey going forward is this process of discovering life, which we find out ultimately it's a journey of remembering life, as water is calling all of us and flowing us all together. So if we look around us, I get surrounded all the time by brilliant scientists, by brilliant technologists, great environmental stewards, and then crossing the bridge into the more intuitive side of our understanding of water to the more artistic aspects of water, where not only is water proving itself to be a tremendous and very beautiful artist itself, but we are a participant in that creation. And so we're not observers, we're participants in this. And so when we look at the great, beautiful crystallography, and Akiko is certainly one to demonstrate this, where it shows us the true geometry and beauty and aesthetics of life and the qualitative nature of our consciousness. So we're moving from the quantitative aspect of life to a much more qualitative aspect of life, and really understanding that we are a participant in this, and that water, as the master listener, listens to everything. And as the great sages say, to make your life a prayer, I always say, it is actually, water is showing us that it's too late to make it a prayer. We have to awaken to the fact that it is a prayer. And to understand what really prayer is that it's not something that's religious. It's something that's inherent from the birth of humanity since the birth of time. And we're just waking up to the fact that we are in constant dialogue to all things and with everything. And it's stunning beauty. So how do I fit into this? What I would say is that when we begin to understand water, the roadmap to ending all pollution will begin, or will be revealed to us, because it becomes inconceivable to even think about pollution. And when I look out there and I see pollution, I don't see pollution per se, because it can be quite devastating when we look at it and all the stats. What I see there is the effects of pollution, the actual cause of which is somewhere deep within our own consciousness, And that's something we're waking up to realizing what is water. And so what I like to do, I suppose I find it very hard to describe what I do. As a pilot, thank you for bringing that up. As a fighter pilot, yeah, you have a mission and you fly. People think you fly from A to B, but actually you fly from A to Z or A to Z. And within that journey, there's B, C, D, E, F, G, and all the alphabet in there. And so whilst it looks like you're flying from A to B, you've got all these things to go on. So I'm a person who understands that there are many gaps in knowledge, in our knowledge systems, and I like to fill those gaps and understand them. I might not be a master of all of them, but I suppose my aspect of mastery is bringing everything together in a coherent journey. And everything that I've conducted in water, I did not know that I was going to be into water. People used to think that I was flying airplanes, but this is what water does. And people used to think that so flying airplanes is very fulfilling. Something was very missing within me in life. And people think when you lead such a dynamic life, it's very fulfilled, but no. What is fulfilling is the journey of water and understanding what it is teaching me. And I didn't realize how for 35 years, I've been observing water through the movement of water and light, effectively, in the greatest show on earth, which is the poetry of clouds and the dynamic movement of clouds. And so I've monitored structures and dynamic movements of water for my life without realizing it. It's 15 years ago I wake up. But also when I look down on the earth as well, you see the beauty of this master architect at work with the meandering and the movement and crossing the greatest bodies of water on the planet, whether they're oceans or they're rivers. And I deliberately used to choose routes sometimes so I have the vantage point, the greatest vantage point of the great observational. You could observe rivers, Siberia, by the way. And I wish I could show everybody the greatest view on earth, which is from maybe an airplane and looking down. But I see it as great reverence, one of great reverence. And that has given me this position of great reverence. And so everything I do is to try and shift people a little bit more towards that place of reverence. And if I can really explain what I do, I suppose that I give people an experience and understanding of water's true nature. And that is inspired by Masaru Emoto, who was probably my first mentor in water, is teaching what water's true nature is. Does anybody really know that? Maybe no one has got that fast, but there's been some great way showers. Many of them are in this room, have inspired me. And from that, I suppose I'm an architect of water solutions. And I don't shy away from doing anything, that I'll take it on because it's an opportunity to teach somebody what might be the true nature of water. And how I would approach that is saying that water has two characteristics. I try and bring it down to its essence. It's got its physical material characteristics and its informational and its energetic characteristics. So far as we know, it may be more. And so as water is a transdisciplinary subject, which is not a word that gives it reverence, it's also it's multidimensional, it's intergenerational, and it's multicultural. And we're all in the waters together. And so water is calling us right now to bring us all together. Everything I do, I used to think is by accident, but it's no, the water is calling us. So the new water generation really is not a business. It has a commercial aspect, but it's a state of being. It's a state of mind, a way of looking at water and seeing its true nature. It's a relationship to all the waters. I know a lot of us have been speaking about that. That journey has led me to create the World Water Gathering, which was inspired when I was in Hawaii. And I was having a conversation with a great elder, Chief Papalei, one who speaks for the Earth Mother. And I don't know why I said this, but it came out that I believe the new water science is evolved enough to be able to understand indigenous wisdoms. And he basically, with a very quiet, softly spoken voice, said, affirm indigenous wisdoms. So I was corrected, and I've changed my way of thought since then as to really looking at what the indigenous wisdoms have been saying, because they have the context of what water truly is, and science has the content. And he said the future is a weave between all knowledge systems. And so the World Water Gathering is a weave of all knowledge gathering, all knowledge systems, and it brings together on World Water Day everybody who's got a message from water, whatever that may be. And it's a journey where we all listen to everybody's viewpoint. Very inspired by Jerry Pollack, by the way. He's brought all the scientists together and he's got, my goodness me, you've got to be a physicist, a chemist, a biologist, and an oceanographer. You've got to be a quantum physicist, a quantum biologist, a quantum chemist. You've got to be a bit of everything. You've got to be a hydration expert. It's beautiful and it's magnificent. So that's what the World Water Gathering does on World Water Day in March. And to continue from that is Water Stories, which I launched this week, which is really deep dives into the very fabric and the essence of life, weaving the subtleties and the multidimensional transdisciplinary aspects of this creative element, water. And it brings the timeless, ancestral, uncontaminated wisdoms with pioneering new science and the source of our consciousness and everything in between. So I'll tell a story from the innermost workings of our DNA right up to the birth of a galaxy, our cosmos, and gives a fundamental shift in our relationship to all things, all beings, all life. And everybody on here is invited to come on to this, what is now a podcast. And I would love to have all of you on here. I always say that water is the most fulfilling thing to observe, to be, and to co-create and participate. And it's the true honor to be here, because there needs to be a platform that brings all this together. And the World Water Community is that platform. It's brilliant. And it will take a genius to design it, and someone who's dedicated with unconditional commitment. And that's what I see with Everin and Bastian and everybody who is here, that we all have our own relationships with water. And together, water is showing us the way, and none of us can get there alone. We all go together. Aloha. We're all in the waters together. Thank you.
Matt, I'm thinking of you as a weaver. I think of all the miles you fly. If we picture you flying to all the places, I know you've shown up in my backyard. I know you've shown up, you knock, knock, I'm here. You've flown all over this globe. And that is a weaving, a tremendous weaving that you've been doing, weaving us together. And I think your work fits beautifully in all that we're attempting to do, the drawing of it all together. So thank you for it. And we'll all want to be on your podcast. It's going to be great, and spread it and support it too. So thank you, Matt. It was amazing. I still remember meeting you in Hyde Park, and we spontaneously started doing Qigong together. Do you remember that? Where we led by water.
We walked barefoot through Hyde Park for 2 hours and ended up having a conversation in the waters in Hyde Park. It was beautiful. It was one of those moments. Thank you, Gina, for guiding me the way that.
And we can all expect many more extraordinary miracles and magic together, because water is doing that for us. So fantastic, Matt. We're right behind you.
So now on to Anna Karen, and just a few months ago, I saw your project on Facebook and we connected. And your book, The Stories of Water, which is compiled with all the writers from all over the world, is an amazing initiative. And I really believe that stories can transform and bring people in another space and realization about water. I just don't know this, but I just know this about you. But you're an amazing artist as well, and I think this is a big effort to also bring the next story of a book together for the children. And I'd really love to support your work further and collaborate.
Great, Evelyn. Yeah, thank you so very much. Thank you for inviting me. And I've been listening, and it's really interesting and great and to listen. And I think so many of you are scientists, and all I know, all the knowledge I have, it's from personal experience or intuition or dreams. So in our Western culture, it's worthless in many ways. But I believe that water is alive, and I do believe that we are all one living organism, and that people intuitively have known this for since the beginning of time. There have always been people knowing this, and in many cultures they have been respected and regarded as wise persons. But in our Western society, we don't listen to people who say that water is alive, and I talked to water today, she told me, or things like that. And when I had, it was like a revelation for me more than 10 years ago. I had an experience that water is intelligent, and it really turned my whole world view upside down. And when I tried to tell people, my family and friends, because I was so, wow, I know water is alive and we are one living being together, and don't harm anyone because you harm yourself, and everything is like a big web. People, they think you're too much. Oh, they start to talk about something else. It's very hard to bring an idea to a culture that doesn't respect the idea from the beginning. And when we talk about thinking outside of the box, it's very seldom really outside the box. We are all very held by our culture. Many years ago, I studied just a little social anthropology, but it was so fantastic to learn that even crazy people behave differently in different contexts. And there are so many things we do that are within our culture. It's almost impossible to think outside your culture. So last year, when I was thinking really hard, what could I contribute with? How can I do anything for water or for the benefit of the world? How can I do anything good? Well, I'm an artist. I love to paint, and I love to talk to water and to nature. So I thought that even though science is it's fantastic and it's necessary, and we need more science, of course, but we have to bring it together with the heart and with the love, or else it's dangerous. The big thing is to make that shift into the heart, and I do believe that everyone listening now already believe this, because that's how important for collaboration, to have this longing for doing something good together with other people. But a lot of people are disconnected, and they are afraid, and they think they see life as a struggle, and you have to compete and guard your knowledge and everything you have, or else someone will take it away. And so I think to get somewhere, to stop polluting water and to work together, we have to work to change our culture, even though it's a very high goal to change the thinking of other people. You can't really do that. I don't think you can, but more and more people today are getting the same revelation as I did 10 years ago. I think it's more and more common today to have those experiences that everything is alive. But if you're not in a context where other people believe the same thing, it's hard. So we can help this shift by making books, children's books, stories, films, songs that talks about connection. So together with 17 other persons from 9 different countries, we have now written a book called Stories of Water. And I called out for people from different countries because I think it's important also, that's part of the message, that we are from Russia and Canada and Australia, Finland, Ireland, but we all have the same love for water. And that's something that so many people from so many different countries are saying the same thing. That's part of it. So the first book now is going to be released. I don't know how many days it will take. I'm uploading it on on the big web tomorrow, and it will take some days before it's for sale. And I also knew when I started this that a part of the money, we share it, we split it equally. Everybody gets the same share, and water also gets one. So we decided to support WorldWaterCommunity. I don't think there will be so much money perhaps, but you have a chapter in our book, so it's a win-win situation there. We talk about you, and here I am talking about this, and we have a common goal. It's about helping water to thrive and to be healthy. So even though the first book isn't released yet, we are already gathering people on WorldWaterCommunity for the next project that is called Stories of Water, Children's Edition. And that will be a little bit different. I think it's going to be a small series of picture books. And I think we're going to do another book written for adults after that, because there are so many people who wants to tell their stories about water. Yeah. And if you sitting here listening, you have a story to share and you want it to be a part of this book project, you can find our group at WorldWaterCommunity, and you can just add yourself to the group, because there I'm going to give instructions on how we work, and then the people who really wants to continue, then we're going to go together into another group. So the first group, everyone who is curious is welcome to participate there. And I think WorldWaterCommunity is a really good place. We need that place where we can find each other. Thank you very much.
Yes, Anna, after water, we love stories next, the best. So we put them together.
Yeah.
We look forward to supporting your work and spreading water stories. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Everin, who do we have next?
Next, we have my dear brother and my real brother. So he's been a change maker in the Navy for more than 15 years, and actually all of your life. And as a submarine commander for 4.5 years in times of lack of personnel and old equipment, while still going on serious missions, you have always believed in the limitless human potential. And currently you're creating an environment where freedom, trust, connection, and social security are valued. And explorers connect on explorations across boundaries and across disciplines, driven from intrinsic motivation. So this is just like I was envisioning for the water world, and I love to work together with you. So, but you always say it better, so please go ahead.
Yeah, so well, I can keep it simple then, because Irene used all the difficult words. But so I'm here with all inspired bunch of people, so there's no need for me here actually. But why are we still calling this planet Earth then?
Mm.
It's quite clearly ocean, isn't it? Yeah, so that's actually what I'm here. Everything's connected with everything. So for the past 20 years, I've been sailing around in a steel pipe in water with 60 people. And I believe everything has a limit except people, except human potential. And you guys already said that people are water and water is connected. So I think I'm on a good path. I also heard a beautiful Anabakia said about explorers. It's all about exploring yourself, exploring your world, exploring our future together. Only we do need to create circumstances in which people start exploring. Every journey starts with departure, in my book. And departure is chaotic, departure is painful, you have emotions. And after you depart, you need to train, you need to endure, you need to keep on going. And then finally, you need to get onto why you departed. So you need to go on a patrol. And in that patrol, you need connection to your others. And that's why this platform is absolutely amazing, I guess, and really necessary to create those circumstances to thrive. Because finally, after your patrol, you need to come back home and be happy and tell a good story, like Anna Karine said. And it's a good story about water. So that's journey. So I facilitate journeys. That's what I do. As a captain, I would create a compelling story, and I would take these 60 peoples on a journey. Of course, the compelling story was big for everyone to join. However, everybody could have his own compelling story in that bigger journey. And then hopefully I want to generate more explorers in this world, people who are disengaged from their mortgages, dare to step out. I believe we're here in this webinar sitting with people who all made that personal journey and are very far already. But I'm here also to create little small boat journeys for people to make their first baby steps and generate more momentum to a future that concerns us all. So that's what I do. So there's some products we have, products that inspire teams in their context, their contextual approaches. But we also explore and we go on explorations. So we really join the people to a new destination, and that we do from a foundation. We have a big network in the maritime sector, and we always work with the user in the first place. So the sailor of a ship is the person we're interested in. He has the potential to actually make a change. The farmer on the field, he has the potential to make the field. So the user in the loop, that's where we find our energy. So, any questions? Happy to ask, happy to provide answers, and love to see you on the platform.
We want to know how we can get users to you.
Users to me?
Yeah. Get those ducklings off the dock.
Sorry?
To get the ducklings off the dock and into their journey. I think you're playing a key role there as a bridge person to get people from stationary into motion.
Exactly. So that is where you can wake me for. I like to generate movements. So if you want to get movements going and you need a group of intrinsically motivated people, and it's not saying that I'm going to be better or different than you guys, but I guess that's what drives me. That drives me. Trying to get a group of people in the same compelling story, all intrinsically motivated to achieve their own little story within that bigger context.
I love the revival of the Explorers Club idea. And it's really good to know where your place is in the circle of all of us. So now that we know what you do, we love knowing that and helping to get people who want to explore to you. It's great. Thank you, Brennan.
Yeah, maybe it's good to just give an example of how that already worked for the platform. Make it more concise.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an exploration. There's a big transition going on in the maritime sector. The maritime sector wants to reduce their energy consumption. Moving forward, they need to have more. They have to do something about their carbon emissions, etc. IMO, the International Maritime Organization, is increasing their regulations. So there's a big thing going on. And every organization is actually looking into doing something about it. But where is the most potential? That's actually in that seaman, because that seaman and that crew who's actually seeing a plastic bag or a big black plume coming out of that end of the ship, they want to do something about it. And we create the circumstances for those people who actually not told by their organization, but to take action, to do something which they can change from today to tomorrow. And that starts a movement. And then finally, this guy asked, hey, I've got a problem with my outboard pipings. And Ivreen came up with a great solution to actually clean their outboard pipings because they were doing it still with high chemicals. And the platform actually linked us to a new great solution. So that is actually also already the benefits of the platform which we saw. So thank you very much, and won't take more of your time. But good to be connected, and see you around on the platform.
And linking us to new solutions. Boy, you can't get better than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, it sure is.
Connections to actually a new status quo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. Everine, who's next?
Yes, so now next on to Nikolai, and he will be the last one. We won't be giving Paolo his space. He's on vacation and we recorded something, but we really need to get to the interview with Jerry in 2 minutes actually. Mm-hmm. But we would not want to miss Nikolai, who's a great friend and quantum biologist. And you're a real water bridger, smoothly connecting people when it flows and bridging water science to the public via appealing films and presentations. As water scientists, we both are searching for tools to measure what we know is there already. And it's really a challenging journey. And I'm really happy to share this with you on our evolving explorations, Nikolai.
Thank you, Everine. And I'm just so grateful to be here tonight with all of my wonderful water family. Sisters and brothers, and I just realized how reassuring it is to know that 2 of my brothers are submarine commanders and fighter pilots, so we can feel very safe here. Who have all been and both been attracted to water, and I just realized, I thought about, coming from traditional science, I would say that if water had not found me in the past 5-10 years, I would probably have left science because of disappointment with the way that science is working today. Most of science, not the science that we're talking about here. And I think you, Gina, you mentioned something about that we cannot keep on sitting in our laboratories and discussing details and formulas. I mean, we need to get this knowledge, this wisdom out and work and benefit the globe and the people and give back hope to humanity. I think that's what is most needed now. So thank you, Everine, Bastian, Gina, everybody for creating this wonderful platform. I don't know if we have time to show the water bridging video, do we, Everine, or is that something for another occasion?
Maybe we could use it as the closure and the smooth connection towards Jerry. Yeah. So Gina, maybe you want to say something still to Nikolai, and then Bastian, you can start the movie and we
Right.
can come back for Jerry.
First of all, I love you to death. I love us all. I think we're all amazing. I'm sorry, but that's true. And yes, the water bridge work is exactly the right words and the right way to end, because we're using water to bridge back to those who need to know this and forward to be led into what we do need to know, and let water do that work for us. So water bridge, yes.
Thank
Roll
you
it,
so
Bastian.
much.
Yeah.
Bastian, you can start.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Thank you.
Without water, no life. Biological life has emerged in water. Our lives depend on it. We are even mostly water ourselves. But there's a lot we still don't know about water. Based on my research in water, I think we are on the brink of discovering water as a new source of energy or medical treatment. I just need to find the key to unlock water and its hidden potential. According to traditional science, water is a simple molecule with a simple behavior. But in my laboratory, I observe how water molecules can be forced to act in a way that actually changes the physical properties of water itself. Take, for example, the experiment, the floating water bridge. When I expose 2 glasses of absolutely pure water to a high electrical field, the water molecules are forced to connect and form a rope-like structure that is able to hold its own weight in free air. This opens up for a whole new understanding of the potential of water. But so far science cannot explain, I cannot explain, why water acts like this. That's why I, together with some of my colleagues here at D2U, are searching for the proper measuring tool. Maybe even to be found in our own backyard or used in previous science projects. A tool that can unlock the mystery, decipher and measure what I now can only observe. It's like trying to find the thermometer, enabling us to tell the temperature of a substance. Come on. Yeah. I'm sure my quest will be met with a lot more obstacles along the way. But I will keep on going, because my work will maybe lead to a new scientific paradigm that will shift the future of planet Earth and its inhabitants, simply by exploring the most basic molecule of life, water.
Beautiful, Nikolai. Thank you. We hope you find that thermometer. We need you to do it. And I'll just say blessings on your work and on each of our work here. Extraordinary and so delightful and meaningful to find each other and to find out about each other's work. Very important, because we're all in our silos, right? And I wondered if we could just close by placing our hand over our heart and acknowledging that we are together in this endeavor. We're not alone, and we're together. And that's a really extraordinary thing, because we now call on water to bind us together, to bless us together, and to make our work flourish for each other and with each other through this platform. So extraordinary blessings on the World Water Community platform as we launch it today and go forth. Thank you, Everine. Thank you, Bastian.
Thank you,
Bria. Launch.
Yes, God.
Launch.
We did it.